Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Don's Hot Rod Garage. Big Don with you. I've been working on the convertible a little bit more, just slowly chipping away piece by piece, trying to get it to the point where we can crack it off and hear it run. So I'll show you what I have been doing and what's next. So I got the V8 core support all sanded down and painted and put in there. Then I got the V8 radiator in there. It's a used radiator. I'd love to find a nicer one because that tank's kind of not so nice. It kind of happens through the years. If you're ever kind of crawling up in there to work on it, you put your knee on the top of that radiator, it's going to dent it up. So I got the core support in there. And then today my radiator hoses come in, which is really cool. And I got the bottom one on there, but I gotta find another clip for it. And in 55 and 56, I don't even know how far down the line it ran, but they used almost like a spring clip for the hose clamps. So I'm hoping on that motor that's in the 57 Nomad, that 265, I'm hoping it has another one of these, because it's a little bit bigger for the lower hose than it is for the upper hose. Like I got an extra one for the upper hose, but you'd never be able to get it to stretch that far to open up. But that's what the clamps look like stock on a small block when they first come out. And you can see that one on there and that one. So that's fitting really nice on there. And I started to put the wiring harness up through. It goes up through the core support. And it's got them little clips that kind of hold the wires up. So then I've had this buddy out here tonight. Look at him. I guess he's trying to hang out and learn something also. And then just been kind of slowly picking away at it, but it doesn't have the distributor hold down back here. So I went and got that all cleaned up. And it actually takes, it's a weird little setup, but it takes this piece. So it takes that piece, and then this goes over top of it. So that's what the correct one is for a early V8. Kind of neat, and I'm just letting it dry off, and then I'll put that in there. So that was necessary also. And then I think I'm gonna order a set of spark plug wires for it, and then get some better battery cables, and then I'll be able to put a battery in it. I still got to do the ballast resistor right there, and that's what energizes the ignition, the distributor. But I'm just really absolutely loving how old and mechanical everything is on this. You know, I've had a lot of 55 Chevys through the years, and 56s as well. Not many 57s, but I've never had a 55 Chevy engine in a 55 Chevy. So it's really cool to see how everything comes together. I mean, everything is just living in its own environment, you know, just, you wouldn't think it's that close, but it is. And I gotta squeeze through here. I even somewhere here, it even took the same style little spring clips, and you basically squeeze that together. And I mean, they are friggin' strong, but you basically squeeze that together, and these are for the heater hoses. You can see they're different sizes. So this has got to be probably for the 3/4 1/4 inch heater hose, and that's for the 5/8. So I had some extra ones of them, and I don't even know where I got them through the years. I think a lot of these was off the 56 Nomad when I took the motor apart. You know, if that's the case, I know one of the upper hose clamps, when I took it off, had red on it, and in 56 the engine was red. It wasn't Chevy orange. They called that the hot one's hotter. But what I'm trying to say is, if that was one off the 56, I took that motor out of that car in 97. I was a senior in high school. I took the motor out of this car. So that shows you how long. And most people would just put regular hose clamps on there, but I've kept this stuff for so long, it's time to use it. And then the heater hose, or the radiator hose, was kind of a little jagged along the edge where they cut it. And I turned this thing sideways and put it up against there. That's what all this stuff is. And made the end of it just totally, perfectly flat. So I'm just kind of tinkering with that. I got to start back up on this wheel well. But to think that I kept that stuff for that long is amazing. And here's all my little doodad trinkets. Like, here's the ballast resistor. I might buy a new one of them. Most people would just discard that stuff, but I'm trying to build this car like something you'd see in the late 50s. And I got to either restore one of these or one of that one right there, because this is what your power steering ram hooks up to. Bolts to the frame about like that on the left hand side, kind of like right in that little area right beside the leaf spring. So, and then I still got to get some power steering parts, and there's the 4-speed or stick shift linkage for it. I still got to, there's little pieces I got to piece by piece get to it, but yeah, it's when I start thinking about it, that's the engine down there. And that was actually in a car I sold, and through a roundabout way I found the guy that bought the car, and I asked him for that engine back, because that's the original engine to this car. So maybe one day it'll get in there. But yeah, I'm trying to work on this car each and every night, try to get something done on it, or buy something that I can put on it so we can try to get it fired up and then start working on the brakes and stuff. So it's slowly coming along. For right now, I don't have the heater core in it, because I got to buy a new firewall pad that goes up under the dash, and then I can put the heater box in it. I got one for it. So for right now, I'll just probably run a little bypass hose from there right down to there. Just loop it. That way I could put antifreeze in it, and then I could see if it's going to hold antifreeze. Because, I mean, this engine has not ran in a very, very long time, so I'm just kind of working through the systems of it, trying to slowly wake it back up. And I kind of had that one running yesterday. Kind of stinked me out of the garage, running real rich and everything. I tried to adjust the timing and the carburetor a little bit, and I did it to that one as well. That one's running really good. They're both running really good, but both of them, like this, they both need tailpipes on them. This one's got tailpipes, but it's not quite the right arch going over the rear end, so it kind of hits the rear end from time to time. And then that one has no tailpipes. I just want to kind of tone them. This one sounds good the way it is. I just want to fix the tailpipes, but that one kind of just sounds ratty when you drive it. I want to try to quiet it down, maybe even change the mufflers on it, because deep down I might slowly be changing a little bit as I get older. You'd hate to admit it, but that's what I've been doing. So I'm going to start working on the wheel wells, try to get them in there. I'd like to get the clutch all set up, because this was original automatic car, so I got to weld. I got to get the little shift ball and weld it. So I might do that before I put the inner wheel wells on there, but it goes way down there on the side of the frame, which isn't no big deal. You know, you can do it. So, and when I put the core support in there, I kind of lined the fenders up, and when I go to do it, I'll take one off at a time, try to keep the alignment, because it was kind of like walked that way, so I had to bring it back, but it's lined up pretty good now. Yeah, it's lined up pretty good, pretty decent for what it is. It still needs a little bit more tweaking. It's still a little tight over there, but once I get the wheel wells in it and things like that, I'm just slowly trying to get it together. Well, thanks for stopping by Don's Hot Rod Garage. Catch you guys on the next video.